UFC 314. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Looking forward to talking about each of the matchups on this card after seeing the fighters on the scales. So make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure you share the video too. And also note, I'll be live for the whole card, so don't miss the Fight Companion Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Let's get into the card, man. I want to break this thing down. Starting the card off, ladies going after it. We have Nora Cornolle versus Hailey Cowan. I have been picking Nora Cornolle throughout the week, but she looked terrible on the scale and she missed weight. She was 137 and a half on her third attempt after even trying to cut her hair. Could not get on point. She honestly is a woman's featherweight at this point because 2 weight misses in the UFC for her now. And she's taking on Hailey Cowan, who's, an okay up-and-comer. Both girls in their 30s, 33 for Cowan, 35 for Cornolle. So my reasoning earlier in the week, picking Cornolle, was the striking ability. I think she's a little more vicious on the feet. She can avoid takedowns, right? Strike from the mid and long range, and even close range combinations, and even tie clinch work. I think she can find some success. Do I worry about the weight cut? Absolutely. Does it make me pick the other side? I have a hard time justifying that in my mind, though. Hailey Cowan, she looks in relatively good shape. I feel like the angle is actually better at the ceremonials, but like she looks solid. And then you got Cornolle looking pretty bad. You can see in her eyes, like she was not fully there at these damn weigh-ins here. But when you look at the ceremonials, Hailey Cowan looked jacked, okay? Good muscularity, in good shape. Cornolle didn't look bad either. She happened to be off weight, but she seems rehydrated and ready to go. She looked rough at the official weigh-ins, but, I got to respect the rehydration. And there's plenty of time to rehydrate, right? The weigh-ins were on at 9 a.m. Eastern time, right? So they finished at 10 a.m. Eastern time. The damn fight started at 6 o'clock, right? p.m. Eastern time. It's all in Miami. So they have a lot of time to recuperate, recover, and, get ready to rock and roll for the next week. You got, 32 hours even for the first fight of the night, essentially. I feel like Nora Cornolle is going to be okay here. I'm still going to pick her to win. I feel like her striking should be effective. Hailey Cowan is younger and she's been off for 2 years. And like being off 2 years, there can be improvements. And she didn't look awful in her UFC debut. And Jamie Lynn Horth, the girl that she fought, is all right. But Cornolle's got 2 UFC wins. Got a nice finish against Melissa Mullins. She was getting grapple fucked a little early, but she got the finish. Got a close fight last time with Cavalcanti, the only girl in MMA to beat her. And then her debut, kind of weird decision against Jocelyn Edwards. She was outpositioned a bit, but did more damage in the striking. I believe that Nora Cornolle can do a bit more damage, a bit more significant strikes. The key issue that I have is the worry of her getting taken down and controlled because Hailey Cowan's a pretty big and strong girl. And she might have slightly better wrestling. But I don't think Cowan is exceptional. And I think that power for power, I favor Cornolle's striking for certain. Whereas Cowan might be the better wrestler, might even be the better grappler. But can she use it effectively, garnering control time and doing damage enough so to outwork the potential risk of striking with the Nora Cornolle and getting caught with big shots? Maybe, maybe not. It's a ladies' fight to start the damn night. I'm sticking with Cornolle, but I understand the Hailey Cowan side. I think it's a coin flip fight. In all honesty, you can flip a coin. Minus 185 Cornolle. I'll pick her. Cowan plus 160. I mean, when you look towards the betting side, I've spoke upon this throughout the week. I have a good feeling we're going over 2.5. At minus 200, I think Cornolle might have some big striking success. Cowan will tie up and grapple with her a bit. Cornolle will be able to create space and have some successful moments on the feet. Cowan might get a takedown or two and then not do a ton with it. And Cornolle having the big cage, I think her striking flow should be relatively effective. Over 2.5 is minus 200. I think Cornolle to win it on the judges' scorecards at plus 150. I say it's a 50-50 fight, but the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I think Cornolle does win. And, sometimes the weigh-ins will have you feeling, oh, shit, Cowan's in it. She looks jacked. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, the tape tells me Cornhole is the superior striker, and she should be at the very least okay on the mat. Cowan has not shown this exceptional jiu-jitsu ability. I mean, if you look at the resume, she's got 2 submission wins. She got a sub over a 2-0 Monica Franco back in 2022. And then she has a sub win over a 2-2 Sarah Click back in 2019. Got choked out in the first round. Victoria Leonardo had a terrible UFC career. I think Nora should pull through. So I'm going to stick with Nora Cornolle. I think she does more damage and wins a competitive fight against a tough girl in Hailey Cowan, but outgunned in the striking department. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card as we keep on moving up, we got Tresean Gore versus Marco Tulio. I've been picking Marco Tulio throughout the week. I have to favor Norma Dumont's boyfriend to get it done. Now, all jokes aside, okay? Tulio can fight. He's got a pretty dangerous stand-up game, good spinning back kicks to the body, strong on the ground, physically imposing. I feel like he's got a technical skill set advantage, but Tresean Gore is an explosive athlete. He has pretty good stand-up game. I like his striking. I think he has power in his hands. I think he has pretty good kicks too. I watched him on The Ultimate Fighter and I was like, yo, he's somebody to keep an eye on. Doesn't have a lot of high level experience at this point. Now, granted, Tulio's got more pro fights, less UFC fights, but he was fighting in LFA, which is a good prospect league. It's a tricky call. I'm still sticking with Tulio, and I don't know. I feel like my confidence may have only dropped a tad bit because of my fanhood for Tresean Gore as they weighed in. I'm like, yo, Tresean looking jacked. He's got a shot. But I feel like Tulio should tune him up with better technical striking. I've seen Tresean Gore cracked by Josh Fremd, right? And Josh Fremd's not a great striker. Cody Brundage, who's a journeyman brawler / wrestler. Tresean Gore has really good striking offense, but I'm not so sure about his striking defense. And I think Tulio is going to be more efficient with his offense, with his offense and defense. I should say it as that, because I could see Gore hitting him with some big shots, but then firing back, Tulio finds success and more accuracy from the side of Tulio. I think that's the better way to break it down. Tulio is a sharper blade, technically superior striker. Tresean Gore is explosive, and I would argue that he might even be faster than Marco Tulio. Power for power, I'd say similarities. Tresean Gore's got more explosive power, but Tulio's got, I think, a bit more just thud on his punches. As far as grappling goes, it wouldn't blow my mind if Tulio out-grapples Tresean Gore. Gore's got a really nasty gilly. That's his money move. But how good is his overall grappling game? We haven't seen a ton of it at a high level. He did okay with Bryan Battle in a loss in that UFC debut, and he caught him with some big shots, but where does Bryan Battle's true offensive grappling rate amongst, middleweights, right? He cut down to 170 for a reason. So I'm going to say Marco Tulio finds a way. I think he could rock Tresean Gore, potentially get a finish here. It wouldn't blow my mind. Tresean got dropped bad with Brundage, and I'd say he's a little bit defensively inept, but, it was a few years ago now. What was it 2 years and 9 months ago? So there has been development. I'm sure Tresean Gore's gotten a little better defensively, but I just have too many worries because, in 2 years, we've seen fucking quick minute against Antonio Trocoli, who's terrible. Antonio Trocoli's not good. I know he went 5 rounds with Shara Bullet, but I don't think Trocoli's anything. And I think Tulio's a skillful Brazilian, and I'm going to favor the shoot the box Diego Lima fighter to be more efficient and pull off a win. And I do think a KO is probable. Marco Tulio looks solid on the scale. You can tell he used to be chubby though, man. He got those I don't want to say gyno because it's not gyno, the loose skin. There's a little bit of it. Respect to Tulio getting in shape. Did they not have a Tresean Gore pick, or did I scroll past it? Am I losing my mind? Chat. They don't have Tresean Gore. Well, lucky I got Tresean Gore right here. Don't worry. I got it on backup. You guys think I don't have it on backup? Listen, I got all angles, bro. Tresean Gore, want to emphasize this, looks fucking stacked, bro. Absolutely incredible on the official weigh-in scale. We'll also look at the rehydrations this week, how they looked on the ceremonials. But Tresean's ready to go. I think this is a very fit and ready to rock Tresean Gore. Tulio, like I said, filled in good. Tresean looks good. Both guys fucking in shape. Side by side. I mean, Tresean Gore, he got a little more tricep on him, but the arm size is relatively irrelevant. I would say the back fucking muscularity on both sides is quite similar. Tresean looks excited, but I think Tresean Gore doesn't have the fight IQ, and I think he gets caught. I think Tresean Gore gets caught with something because he gets overexcited when he finds success in a fight. He gets too excited, and he starts attacking with big bombs, and he's going for it, and Tulio counters him and hurts him bad. So even if Tresean Gore has success, that could be a detriment because he may throw caution to the wind. I don't think that he's technically proficient enough to keep a calculated pace and an outstriking of a skillful Brazilian like Tulio. So the pick for me, Marco Tulio will stand. Like I said, I like Tresean Gore, but Tulio should win. Minus 400. The odds have gone wide on Tulio. Opened up at minus 225. And I mean, earlier this week, it was in the minus 300 range. Now it's fucking big odds at 4-1. Tresean, a big underdog at plus 330. The odds of him winning, not great. What's a Tulio win inside of the distance? Minus 165. Damn. Confidence on the finish here. Okay, so minus 165. There's nothing doing there. What is Gore by KO? Plus 1100 Gore by KO. Catches Tulio with a bomb. Degen Gore by KO hedge if you have Tulio in like a lock parlay or something like that. Not a terrible idea because if Gore wins, I don't know. I know he's got decent subs, so you could say, oh, well, submission though, plus 900. I would lean the knockout in this one if he won. I'm not saying he is. I think he's going to lose. I do. But he's got the puncher's chance. I just think Tulio is going to be efficient in grappling to avoid that ghillie if he even is potentially in a position where there is a threat of that type of front headlock. So I'm going to say Marco Tulio finds a way, probably a finish. I guess we're looking in depth today. Yeah, see, Tulio's not a submission ace, man. One win by sub. Gore got 3 subs, though. Damn, I know he's got power, but he does bring the sub game. What's the sub here? Gore by sub plus 900. Now I'm thinking, shit, do I walk back to plus 1100 KO? Somehow he locks a sub. I just don't see it, right? I think you guys are feeling the same. Shoot the box, Diego Lima, middleweight. Should be skillful in all areas, man. I think that Tulio wins this fight. I'm having a hard sell on even giving Tresean Gore like a D-Gen sub call. I don't think Tulio walks himself into a ghillie like that. I'm going to go Marco Tulio to find the finish over the former Ultimate Fighter veteran in Tresean Gore. Next fight, we got Sumudaerji versus Mitch Raposo. I'm going with Sumudaerji to win because Mitch Raposo has no good wins. Like, he looks okay in his debut against Andre Lima. You're going to say, oh, split, dude, split. No. 30-27. A split decision is egregious in that fight. Not saying it's 30-27 is fucking egregious. I went, rewatched that whole fight and scored it myself, and I said, bro, that's a 30-27 all day Lima. So I don't know what the fuck a split decision going towards Raposo is there. Makes no sense at all. Sumudaerji's a dangerous striker. He's good from long range, got snappy kicks, got powerful punches, and I will say he's pretty fast. Sumudaerji also coming off, a fight with Charles Johnson where he actually did okay. And he's got submission threats that he brings as well. Very long limbs. Raposo, I mean, he's a gritty dude. Decent pressure wrestling, decent boxing, but no high-level wins, bro. 4-2, 2-0, 7-4, 3-2. You know what I'm saying? He's never beaten anybody at a high level. Like, I know Sumudaerji hasn't beaten killers, but, Malcolm Gordon was okay at one point. Zaruk Adeshev was a former pro kickboxer. I know he's lost 3 straight, but to be fair, I mean, the match Schnell lost hasn't aged well, but he did drop Schnell. Tim Elliott's a strong-ass wrestler, and then Charles Johnson just good everywhere. I feel like Sumudaerji can win. I don't have my confidence on Raposo high. It's just he's at a reach and height disadvantage. Yeah, I think Sumudaerji finds a way to get it done. I do. But I know people on Raposo. My own brother's on Raposo, bro. So shout out to him. Good luck. But I don't believe in it, man. He looks like Rob Schneider to me. Rob Schneider in Grown Ups. Don't you feel that fucking vibe, man? Got the poof on the top. That's funny as shit. Sumudaerji looking pretty shredded up, actually. Quite good shape for Sumudaerji, as expected, though. And then we'll get to the ceremonials here. Not much of a change. Both guys in shape. No issues with the weight cutting. This is what I wanted to really emphasize. That height difference, man. Can Raposo close the gap, box on the inside? Does Sumudaerji sting him up? How's Raposo's wrestling look in this fight? Does he finally showcase it at a high level? Or did he just get stung up all night on the feet? I feel like Sumudaerji, with the length, could even knock Raposo down and maybe fucking club and sub him crazy enough. It could even knock him out. Sumudaerji does have a bit of sting in his hands, and Raposo's a tough customer, though. So the pick is going to be Sumudaerji. I think he just is more effective, more damaging shots. it's a degen, knockout call. The official pick's been decision all week, but I could see him catching Raposo from long range. But Raposo does have good pressure and supposedly good wrestling, but plus 120, the odds are close. Raposo's plus 120, Sumudaerji at minus 140. I see this as a Sumudaerji fight. Let's see here. What is the KO out of curiosity? Only 3-1. If it was like 5-1, I would say fucking pull the hammer down. But it's not worth your while then. At just 3-1. I don't think so, at least. Decision is probable as well. Plus 145, plus 165 for decision. Is the spread worth your while? Let's see. Minus 150 if Raposo wins around, but he might get 30-27. I'm going to say Sumudaerji wins, man. Not the exciting plus money line, but should be more efficient. Striking from range is pretty accurate and on point, and I see him beating Mitch. So we're going Sumudaerji to win. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, Cedric Dumas versus Mikol Oleksiejczuk. I've been picking Mikol Oleksiejczuk all week. Oleksiejczuk is looking to snap this 3-fight skid. He switched to the Fighting Nerds gym, which is a really interesting move because Oleksiejczuk has always been pretty sus at jiu-jitsu. So makes sense that he's trying to work with some Brazilian savages on the mat. His boxing's nice, though. Like, Mikol Oleksiejczuk can throw fucking hands. He's a good southpaw with actual power in his punches. He's got good punch combinations. He works the body pretty well. I think he's got a good boxing flow. Cedric Dumas is a decent kickboxer. He's long, definitely has that reach advantage. You know what I'm saying? 79 to 74. So he got about 5 inches on Oleksiejczuk. He's okay from the outside. And he's not bad at wrestling. He's got decent wrestling, I guess you say, or, all right wrestling. Not much of a submission threat, though. Not much of a submission threat. And I don't think he's a high-level wrestler. I feel like Oleksiejczuk can defend takedowns from Dumas and turn this into more of a boxing fight. And I think in boxing range, Oleksiejczuk lands some pretty big shots on Cedric Dumas. I could see him ripping the body, which I feel like would be very smart here. Because Dennis Tululin had Cedric backing up a bit, and Cedric throws up that high guard and no shots are getting through. You rip him with a few to the body, it's going to change things, especially, if it's a strategy he goes to relatively early in the fight. Over 3 hard rounds, we could see Dumas tired come round 3 and Oleksiejczuk really finding some big shots to the head. So I'm going to say Mikol Oleksiejczuk is going to end up getting his hand raised, probably a knockout. I think he's going to land more efficient shots on the feet, more accurate shots and bigger punches. He's a sharper striker than Dumas. Dumas, though, he's got the length, like I said. He's okay. He can throw some nice kicks. Like, he's not a bad striker, and his grappling is decent. He doesn't do anything exceptional, and I feel like Oleksiejczuk, when he's on one, his boxing is actually quite good. Oleksiejczuk on the scale is nothing to ever write home about. He looks like he could be at a welterweight division. And then there's Dumas on point, on weight, ready to go. Really nothing about the scales. But what I did think was interesting beyond the scales, Oleksiejczuk got a little bicep vein there. Looking at the face-off, 6 foot tall Oleksiejczuk, 6'2" Dumas, bruh, tell me they don't look about the same height. Shoulder-wise, Oleksiejczuk's shoulder is higher than Cedric Dumas's. It's just Dumas got a longer neck. I feel like Oleksiejczuk's going to crack that chin and end up catching him with some big thudding shots and probably shut the lights off. So the Oleksiejczuk KO is going to stand as the prediction here. Minus 230 for Oleksiejczuk, which is not a big surprise. Dumas at plus 195, rocking the face tats like it's a fucking monsoon. Listen, Dumas looks like he raps on the side, though. I think, does he? Am I delusional, or does he have SoundCloud? It's not him. It might not be him. Maybe it is him. I don't know. There's somebody in the UFC that does. But I think Oleksiejczuk going to give him a proper boxing lesson and a bit of a check here. This is a matchup for Oleksiejczuk to thrive in and snap the losing streak. Oleksiejczuk KO plus 150. I don't really like that. I feel like over 1.5 at minus 130 won't surprise me. Like, I could see Dumas getting to the body of Oleksiejczuk and tying up with him, controlling him against the cage a little bit, and then Oleksiejczuk finding some striking success later. But yeah, that over speaks to me a little bit. So shout out the over. I'm going to say Mikol Oleksiejczuk with a relatively impressive win. Next fight on the card, we got Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. The OG Darren Elkins looking to dig deep at 40, nearly 41 years old and take out Julian Erosa, who's kind of on a roll too. But to be fair, both are on 2-fight win streaks. I'm going to pick Darren Elkins, which I know people have said to me they disagree with, but there's a percentage that see it. Here's my thought practice. All right. Darren Elkins is a strong pressure wrestler with scrappy boxing, not a clean boxer. No, he's a dog tough brawling boxer. Julian Erosa is slick, right? He has relatively quick hands, but his hands are always mad low. He does have submission threats, but Darren Elkins is incredibly hard to submit. And I see Elkins landing takedowns. I feel like Erosa is going to get outdogged in this fight. I have seen Julian Erosa let down, right? Even against Steven Peterson, that close decision win, he like fights to the level of his opposition sometimes. And these guys that, you think that he'll have easy work on end up giving him his toughest fights. And I feel like Darren Elkins is going to be in his face, and I'm just not confident in Erosa just piecing Elkins up for 3 rounds, or Erosa knocking Elkins out, or Erosa subbing Elkins. Like, I think he can get taken down. I think he can get backed up. I think he loses scrambles on the ground. He's frustrated with Darren Elkins on top of him. I feel like the gritty OG Darren Elkins is about to get a 29-28 close back and forth fight win against a Julian Erosa, who's right now, a certified prospect killer. I mean, you look at that. He took out Hamoshu at one point at hype. C-Rod, he fucking beat Sean Woodson a few years ago. But this matchup here is a weird one because I don't see Elkins getting locked in a submission. I see Elkins fighting out of a deep ghillie attempt from Erosa and ending up on top of him. I'm going to say Darren Elkins, with efficient submission defense, finds a way to outwork Julian Erosa here. There's Julian Erosa on the scale. Like, he looks pretty solid, man. Erosa's in good shape. I wouldn't expect anything less. Darren Elkins, bro, he looks 47. That's what's badass about him. The damage, bro. The realest tattoo and the face to match. Like, that's a dude who's thrown down 40-plus motherfucking times. Holy shit. Rosa, ready to rock. There's Darren Elkins. The damage. Little smile. Respect between the two of them, man. I feel like Elkins can pull through. I don't think he's out of the matchup. I feel like takedowns are going to be a key to success here for him. If he's stuck kickboxing from long range, yes, Erosa will touch him up with nice shots, but I don't think Erosa is as great at takedown defense as maybe some are assuming that he's going to be, I guess is a good way to put it, because I feel like Darren Elkins can get him to the mat, dude. And I think he can outwork him on the mat, and he can out-scramble him on the mat. All right, let's see. Julian Erosa at minus 265, so the odds have gotten a bit closer. Darren Elkins at plus 225. I think the damage makes it all 3 rounds and survives too. Over 2.5, minus 115. Elkins win by decision, which is going to be my pick here. Currently at plus 525. Oh my God. Plus 525 is Savage Mode USA in this all. Ooh, spread on Elkins, plus 130. Does he win a round on all 3 judges' scorecards? Does he get a 30-27 on one judge's card somehow? Maybe. I don't know. Spread is live, but odds are not as good. I think that Darren Elkins in a gritty fight is able to find a way to beat Julian Erosa, but I don't think you're nuts if maybe you're interested in the side of the spread. But I also think, you're betting on a Darren Elkins at nearly 41. I think he wins. It's more of a coin flip, 50-50. I think the odds are stupid here. They've gotten closer for a reason. It's because I think Elkins is in this fight, and Julian Erosa at times fumbles the bag. So I'm going to say Darren Elkins finds a way to get the win. When there's a will, there's a way for the OG Darren Elkins wrestling pressure at nearly 41 in 2025 to get a win over Julian Erosa. Let's fucking get it. Let's keep running up the card. Chase Hooper, Jim Miller. I've been picking Chase Hooper all week. It's a sensible prediction. Let's just keep it a buck, chat. It's a sensible prediction because we have youth versus some age, bro. 16-year age difference between the two. And Chase Hooper on a nice 4-fight winning streak, looking better each and every fight, seems to be developing as well. Jim Miller, I mean, yes, he's got, 3 wins out of his last 5 fights. It was a nice one against Damon Jackson, a former featherweight, but it checked out Damon Jackson that retired after the fight. Win before that, Gabriel Benitez, who was essentially checked out mentally. Jesse Butler, who was not even UFC level. I think Chase Hooper is going to use his size advantage well, and I think he's going to win the grappling battle. I think Chase Hooper is better at jiu-jitsu than Jim Miller. In a pure striking fight, Miller's got a chance to land some big thudding shots, but I can see Chase Hooper dragging Miller to the ground, man. And I think he can outwork him when they get to the mat. I think he's going to be a lot faster with his transition speed, and I think his submission threat is too much. And add all of those other factors on top, plus reach, 3-inch advantage. It's a natural length advantage, 6'1" to 5'8". I think Chase Hooper's leg length is going to be an issue if Jim Miller is on top, because Hooper could work his guard and try to throw up triangles from the bottom. I'm going to say Chase Hooper pulls off the win against an aging vet, but let's check out the scales. Let's see. Let's see here. I mean, listen, Chase Hooper, the muscle development has slowed. He started looking more jacked, but he's not going to fucking be jacked overnight. He's put on a bit of muscle tissue since the earlier years, for sure. The opposite side, you got, Jim Miller looking pretty ready to rock and roll, but also, 40s. You see the gray hairs in the beard now, a little gray hair in the top, some salt and pepper look for him. And I think old man Jim's time is coming. Chase Hooper is youthful, he's active, and he's effective on the mat. Jim looks good, though. Size difference isn't huge. Jim Miller got a mean look to him. Bro, if Jim Miller somehow knocks out Chase Hooper, holy shit. We've seen Chase Hooper not respond well to big punches, but I'm like, it's Steve Garcia, though, that did it to him. And Steve Garcia is a bad motherfucker on the field. Jim Miller, 41 years old versus a prime Chase Hooper. I'm going to favor Chase Hooper with the superior grappling to win. But minus 1,200 is just fucking egregious at this point. What the hell is that line? That's way too wide. Jim Miller at plus 750. My God. Chase Hooper gets knocked out, absolutely sells at minus 1,100. That would be a Chase Hooper type thing. Let's see. Hooper by submission is plus 100. Hooper by decision is plus 275. He could out-grapple Jim Miller for an extended period of time. Old man Jim by KO plus 1,400. Does he have a chance? Hooper actually has a good chin. He took some big shots in the past. I know, you'll look at the Steve Garcia fight and be like, oh, he's shit. Nah, Steve Garcia is a bad dude. So I'm going to say Chase Hooper is able to handle business against, towards the end of his run, Jim Miller. Let's just keep it real. Very much towards the end of his run. Does he have 3 fights left, including this one? Maybe. Could this be it? I'm thinking, regardless, the result, as I'm choking over here. Choking up, Jim Miller, no. Regardless of the result, I believe Jim Miller wants to do another fight. But yeah, Chase Hooper for the W. And I think submission's pretty live. Let's keep running. Next fight, ladies going after it. Virna Jandiroba versus Yan Xiaonan. So, I have been picking Virna Jandiroba to land the key takedowns and out-grapple the powerful kickboxer in Yan Xiaonan. I believe she can be effective closing that gap. Oh, my God. And it's a must, too. Because if you get stuck striking at long range with Yan Xiaonan, you are going to get caught by some fucking powerful punches. Let me tell you it like this, though. Let me tell you it like this. If Virna gets this thing to the ground, she's live for a submission, for sure. She got a good chin, and I don't think Yan Xiaonan's knocking her out. I think Yan Xiaonan strikes pretty well from the longer range, but eventually Virna Jandiroba will drag this fight into the deep waters where she is at her most comfortable in the grappling department. And I think she's a lot better at grappling, a lot better at submission threats by a long shot. Her effective offense, as far as actually locking up subs, superior by a long shot. Yan Xiaonan's striking is definitely better, but Jandiroba is capable enough on the feet to close the distance and land takedowns. And that is why I'm going to pick Virna Jandiroba. The grappler versus the striker. I'll go with the grapple fuck. Xiaonan's powerful, though, but I'll go with the grapple fuck. It is what it is, guys. I got to go with it. Jandiroba on the scale. Ready to rock and roll. Look at this girl. She actually looks like Raul Rosas. Holy shit, Raul. Okay. Okay. Xiaonan always looks intense as hell. Intense stare, bro. Holy shit. There's Jandiroba looking ready to rock. Yan Xiaonan keeping it classy with the old school, real martial arts values. Respect to her. Intense face off. Yan Xiaonan's got a big ass head, bro. Xiaonan got a big head. Xiaonan striking is terrifying. Jandiroba, though, she got some thickness to the muscles, and that's grappler's strength right there. And I think Jandiroba will drag this fight into the deep ocean. She has to. Sitting there and striking with Xiaonan is stupid. And Jandiroba, not dumb. She knows what she has to do. They have a game plan. Neutralize the striking threat. Use your superior jiu-jitsu skills and win the fight. Whether it's submission or decision, both are live outcomes. But Jandiroba just needs to avoid being stuck striking with Yan Xiaonan for extended periods of time. Minus 145 Jandiroba, plus 125 for Yan Xiaonan. Let's see here. Over 2.5 is minus 225. Jandiroba decision plus 200. Submission plus 250. I don't know, man. The murky waters of this one make me want to stay away. Jandiroba at minus 145 should win, but the betting side doesn't speak to me. It's just a pick. I don't know. Not even that I don't know. I know. There's a strong argument on the other side. I have it with my own fucking brother. Again, he's on fucking Yan Xiaonan, and he likes that as his fucking favorite underdog. So I respect the Xiaonan side enough so to recognize there's a pathway, but I do believe that Verna Jandiroba will drag this fight to the ground and out-grapple her. But do I want to bet minus 145 on her when I'm way more confident in other bets and lines that are better? No. But is it a pick? Absolutely. Jandiroba on the judges' scorecards or a submission gets it done. She will find the submission here against Yan Xiaonan, and I'm going to pick her to win and then fight Weili Zhang for the belt. I think that's what's coming next. So shout out Verna Jandiroba. All right, let's get to the featured prelim of the night, okay? We got 50K Dan Ige versus Sean the Sniper Woodson. I'm going with Sean the Sniper Woodson. Too long, too quick, too slick, and too much momentum on his side, man. Sean Woodson's 4 fights in a row with W's. Looking smooth, and boxing is pretty damn efficient. Head movements on point, striking from long range, obviously very good with a 78-inch reach. Dan Ige's coming off losses. He's lost 3 out of his last 4 fights. I mean, the win was against Andre Fili, a perfect shot, but Andre Fili doesn't rank next to a Sean Woodson. You look at other fights, right? The loss to Lerone Murphy by a decision, did okay early, but ultimately got outpointed. Diego Lopes, he takes on super short notice. That was a weird fight. He finished strong, but he got outworked by Diego Lopes. I think Sean Woodson's going to be too efficient from the outside, too long, hard to hit, hard to close the gap on and land clean on. And I think Ige is going to struggle with an inability to efficiently close distance and land the power shots. Dan Ige needs to efficiently close distance and hurt Sean Woodson. Because is he going to tune him up in a back and forth kickboxing match for 3 rounds? Extremely unlikely. Dan Ige needs a knockdown and potentially a knockout. Now, then there's the argument of the takedown threat. Dan Ige is somewhat effective with wrestling, but he's not high caliber enough so in the wrestling that I think he will have the tools to deal with Woodson's very difficult to take down frame. At 6'2" at 145 pounds, man, the leverages are crazy. And it's going to be damn hard for Dan Ige to drag Sean Woodson to the ground. I'm going to say Sean Woodson outstriking him. He's got 30+ amateur boxing matches too, so he does have the boxing base. And Ige, known for his boxing style. I think Woodson a bit sharper, hard to hit, picks his shots nicely, and wins. I'm going Sean Woodson, W, okay? And I see him looking good. Oh, almost jumped to the wrong section there. There's Sean Woodson looking skinny as hell on the scale. I mean, he looks like fucking E.T., to be honest with you. But it doesn't matter. He's allowed to look like E.T., bro. Okay. And this is effective. He's stretched out. He was supposed to be 5'8", but he's 6 feet 2 inches tall. Pretty badass, if you ask me. The flex for Woodson. The opposite side. You got Dan Ige. I don't know why somebody's shooting fireworks outside over here. What the hell, man? What are you shooting fireworks at 8:15? I know it's a Friday, bro. That's how we celebrating the weekends. Fucking enjoy the fireworks. As long as the mic don't pick it up, I don't care. Dan Ige with the savage build. I'll be honest, the mustache suits him. Looks like he's going to have a long and illustrious career as a fire marshal. Shit. I think that's the pathway he's going down after this one. But he does look fucking jacked. Respect where it's due. That fucking Dan Ige physique is fucking should be goals for most fucking American men or most men around the world. You should try to look like that. John Woodson, skinny tall. I stretch the fuck out, bro. It ain't about the build, bro. It's about the frame. Look at that height. Look at that freakishly large head, long ass limbs. Sean Woodson, hard to hit from the long range. I think Sean Woodson pulls through. He's going to beat Dan Ige. Dan Ige's the ultimate gatekeeper, bro. And I think that the gate is getting busted through in this one here. And Sean Woodson has potential to do a bit more. I think so. As far as the odds for the fight, minus 180 for Sean Woodson. I feel pretty good about Sean Woodson here at minus 180. Plus 155 for Ige. I see Woodson outpointing him. Let's see. Do I like decision prop? Not really. I like the money line in the parlay. Woodson by a decision, plus 105. What if Woodson KO'd him? Plus 750. Ige got a good chin on him, though. I'd lean decision for sure. Let's see. What else do we have? Sean Woodson to win every round or get a knockout or submission, plus 150. It's a wide spread, though. Dan Ige, minus 200. They're giving you no love on the spreads. They're like, yeah, we think Ige probably takes around here's 2-1, but he might get 30-27. You know what I'm saying? Don't like that. I'm going to say Sean Woodson for the W. Sean Woodson by a decision. Effective striking from long range by Sean Woodson and efficient takedown defense. Those should be the two clear pathways to great success for him. And I'll say Sean Woodson wins, and now he's mixing it up with the top of featherweight, man. I'm excited for this post-fight for this card. The recap is going to be fun because I'm curious, assuming that Woodson pulls through and this pick is on the money like I see it. Very interesting about what could be next for him with this win, bro. But he's got to get past the OG test and Dan Ige first, of course. I'm not trying to look past it for him, but I do think he does. So, Sean Woodson, W. Let's jump to our main card opener. If you guys haven't, make sure you hit the like button and smash that subscribe button as well. Do a double smash. Like, subscribe, post notifications on. You don't want to miss a thing. Nikita Krylov versus Dominick Reyes. So throughout the week, I have been picking a resurgent Dominick Reyes to keep the success rate cooking. He's looked quite good in his past two fights. Now, to be fair to him and also to be fair to Nikita Krylov, no. The level of opposition in Dustin Jacoby and Anthony Smith, they can't fuck with Krylov. No, they don't. But destructive performances, Dominick Reyes looking pretty clean on the feet. The Resurgence Reyes, man. I think he should change his nickname to the Resurgence because this is what he's shooting for here. Now, Anthony Smith is essentially checked out of his career and he got fucked up. And he had a friend pass away leading up to the fight. He shouldn't have took the fight and he got crumbled. Dustin Jacoby, though, that was a sick knockout. And Jacoby's a former Glory kickboxer and Reyes made it look easy. So 2 straight wins for him, but there was the dark days. This loss here 2.5 years ago to Ryan Spann was horrible. Nikita Krylov is on a 3-fight win streak, but, it's been a while off. The Gustafsson knockout was badass as hell. The Ozdemir win actually is super impressive because Ozdemir is powerful. And subbing up Ryan Spann 2 years ago. So then we got a shoulder injury. We got a super long layoff. But I'm in my head a little bit about this one. And I'll tell you why, is because Krylov looked amazing on the scale with no sign of real muscular atrophy on either one of his shoulders. So 32 is absolutely prime for the light heavyweight division. 35 is not out of your prime. The worry is Reyes' chin. I think Reyes has a strike speed advantage. I think Reyes has good lateral movement. And I think the takedown defense for Reyes is normally quite good. But Krylov does have creative takedowns. And his wrestling is strong and it's aggravating. Did fucking even win the first round against Magomed Ankalaev. And he caught him with some good shots early. And Ankalaev's a monster. Even got him down against the cage. Let's look at the scale, all right? But you can feel the energy. The pick's worrying me more so, I won't lie. And it's more so because I thought Reyes looked kind of chubby. He looks intense, but he looks kind of chubby here. And Krylov looks sensational, bro. I think this is a fight where we should actually just pull up Getty Images and get an even better look. I'd rather get the most in-depth look of them weighed in. So Dominick Reyes, relatively lean for what Dominick Reyes is normally bringing to the table. Like, he looks okay. He never is super physically imposing. But Nikita Krylov is like, this guy looks like a fucking murderer, bro. Looks absolutely shredded. Look at his shoulders. I was like, all right, I got to pay attention. I don't see, it could be the tattoo covering anything weird, but it's like, I don't see anything weird about his shoulders where I'm like, yo, the muscles are atrophied a bit. This could be an issue. Could be back with a vengeance. And now this picture of Reyes, he looks like your uncle that just got off the couch that still fucking trains arms, but is not doing much else, bro. Just a little buys and tries, dude. Then you got Nikita Krylov looking shredded as hell. Championship shape. There's the face off. Krylov absolutely murked Dominick Reyes at the weigh-ins. Like, aura difference is crazy. When Dominick Reyes is on one, though, he is elusive, powerful, and effective. And his boxing is good. And the takedown defense at one point was fucking off the chain, man. I hate this one. Of all the fights, I hate this one right now. Krylov's grappling is strong, and he's probably going to look to grapple here, but his striking is okay. Overrated power, but definitely effective striking. Reyes, quick southpaw with good lateral movement, with nice hand speed. Defends takedowns pretty efficiently, and he should have a speed advantage over Krylov. The worry is this Reyes chin being fucking glass, and really only he knows, right? If he's sparring and he's getting rocked. Oh, my gosh. I mean, the original pick is still Reyes, but unless I say something changes, nothing changes yet. Look at the odds. So Krylov minus 155, Reyes plus 135. If there is a flip of a pick, it is not odds-based in the slightest bit. It's fucking reality-based of my worry here. Ends inside distance, minus 215. Does Reyes still got it? Reyes by decision, plus 450. I'm going to stick with my Reyes pick because I just feel as though if I did pick flip and I missed, I'll be more angry than anything else than if I just stick with the pick and miss. You get what I'm saying? If I stick with it and miss, fuck, I should have picked flip. If I pick flip and miss, it's like, you're an idiot. Why would you do that? But I will say this confidently. Dominick Reyes worries me. I don't know. Something seems off up here. I don't think Krylov is a bad bet. Bad Brett. I don't think he's awful. I mean, Reyes, I feel like he can nab a decision or maybe nab a later finish. But the knockout's worrying me, man. Krylov's chin holds up nicely. He wasn't knocked out for years. He got KO one time. What was that fucking Soa Palele fight? Fuck, dude. He was gassed. I remember that fight. I've been watching him since his fucking debut. Isn't that crazy? And I'm picking against him. I never gave Krylov his respect. 11-7 in the UFC, man. Some bad moments, but damn, bro. Does Reyes need a knockout? Am I fucking selling myself short here? Knocking out Dustin Jacoby and Anthony Smith and Chris Weidman. Those are his last 3 wins. Krylov murders all of them. The John Jones performance was fucking amazing, but that shit was 5 fucking years ago. Oh my God. Krylov's younger. Oh my God. I'm sitting here overthinking. What's Krylov by KO? Krylov by KO plus 300. Krylov by sub plus 300. Krylov inside distance plus 110. Guys, I hate this. I hate this feeling. It's like I want to just say, no, I think Krylov I can't, though. I have this small faith in Reyes finding himself one more time and still getting it done. And Krylov potentially being a little bit of ring rusted, man. Oh, my God. The Reyes confidence is not on the higher side after the weigh-ins, bro. I hated how he looked. I hated the body language. I don't know if his head's in it. It reminds me of the fucking fights against Ryan Spann, honestly. So, I don't know, man. Reyes is the pick as a dog, but it's not because he's a dog. I see it as a 50-50 fight. The shit I got to deal with after the weigh-ins, man. The shit I got to deal with. Reyes, why can't you fucking lose a little body fat, man? Fuck. I think Nikita Krylov is going to win. I think Nikita Krylov is going to fucking beat him, bro. Oh, my gosh. I'm torturing myself live right now on this pick. This is what the weigh-ins can do to you, man. The tape told me Reyes, especially with Krylov, coming off the injury. But then the reality tells me, dog, Krylov can strike with Magomed Ankalaev, can go 3 rounds with him. He doesn't get knocked out. I think Dom Reyes wilts, bro. We've seen Dom Reyes break. I got too much fear of this breaking. Fuck it. Pick flip. Give me Krylov to win. I have to. I hate it. I hate it, but I have to. I have to, man. Dom Reyes didn't look good. on the scale. His mind doesn't seem in it. And Krylov's shoulders look good. He looks in fantastic shape. I know he's got the grappling threat. I know he's got a bit of pop, enough so that he could catch Reyes. Reyes is damn quick on the feet, and I think he can land big punch combinations, but he's going to have to stay moving, and he's going to probably need a finish of Krylov, which has been extremely hard to do. Krylov has pretty good takedowns, and if Reyes is on his back, I feel like he'll look horrible. Reyes has shown evidence of slowing down, even though he's still got some hand speed. I guess I'll go Krylov after the fucking weigh-ins. Torture. I'm sweating right now, chat. That was a battle with myself to find the truth, and fuck it. Let's keep running. Next fight, Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. I'm going with Gene Silva. He's going to knock Bryce Mitchell out. Somebody will eventually humble Gene Silva, but it's not going to be Bryce Mitchell. He's not effective enough in striking. Gene Silva has legit power in his hands. He's explosive. He can rip big punch combinations. He's fast, closes the gap really fucking well. Dude, I think Gene Silva is going to land a thudding knockout shot and put Bryce to bed in the first 2 rounds. Bryce's grappling is good. He can land a takedown, but I don't think he's grapple fucking Gene Silva. I feel like Silva's get-up game is pretty on point. He's explosive as hell, and he's going to be physically stronger. And striking-wise, there's just a level above with his kickboxing as opposed to Bryce Mitchell's. I'm going to go with Gene Silva by violent KO. He takes out Bryce Mitchell. Gene Silva looking like he missed weight the first go. Yes, he did, but then he weighed in a second time, made weight. He looks good on the scale, though. Physique looks solid. Explosiveness is there. Bryce looks all right. I mean, he looks like an average country folk. That's Bryce Mitchell's appeal, man. Keeps it simple. Keeps it average. I don't know why the order is different here. There's Gene Silva looking fucking jacked, man. He's in good shape. He's ready to go to war. Bryce doesn't look great on the scale. I won't lie to you, man. Bryce looks rough. There's the intense-ass face-off between the two. Staring into the soul of Bryce Mitchell is Gene Silva. The shoulders looking fucking huge. Look at the muscularity difference, the striking, the explosiveness. Oh, my gosh. I think that Gene Silva is going to make a masterpiece off of Bryce Mitchell. But he will eventually run into somebody that can give him a threat. But it's not Bryce. He doesn't hit hard enough, and I don't think he brings enough of a threat of damage in this fight, even from top. Like, if he's on top of Gene, he's going to hold him, and then Gene's going to find the counter to get back up to his feet as Bryce looks to pass. So I think Gene Silva to knock Bryce Mitchell out seems like a fucking lock here. Gene Silva is minus 190, much more playable. Everybody's betting on fucking Bryce Mitchell, dude. Wow, minus 190 now, plus 165 for Bryce. That's insane, bro. Gene Silva opened up as a minus 450 favorite. He was in the minus 300 range earlier in the week. He is minus 190 now. Silva by KO is plus 120. I think Silva's going to catch Bryce Mitchell. I could see a fucking uppercut. A big shot's going to land and Bryce is going to fall. Gene Silva, violent KO for the win, confidently. I like Bryce. I think he's a fucking wild character, but trust. Gene Silva, his get-up game is efficient. He's not getting grapple fucked. It's like, oh, well, Sabatini grapple fucked Joe Anderson Brito, so that's why I'm picking Bryce Mitchell to beat Silva. Completely different. Brito, he got checked by, Bill Algeo, by William Gomez. Gene Silva is undefeated in the UFC, impressive win after impressive win. And I think he just looks like an absolute striking phenom with an effective get-up game, to say the least. But he trains at Fighting Nerds with Kyle Barrio. There's good grappling training there. So should be able to deal with Bryce Mitchell's grappling attack and wrestling pressure and potential submission threats. I think as they strike, Bryce Mitchell will not have an answer. He gets caught with big shots. He gets put out. I'm going Gene Silva by KO, or the earth is flat, and I'm signing in with the Bryce Mitchell Flat Earth Gang, I guess, afterwards. I'm putting that on the line in this fight right here, but we got to go Fighting Nerds. Let me put the glasses on. Let me give some fucking respect where it's due. Let me put the glasses on for the Fighting Nerds team. I should probably make myself bigger so you guys can enjoy this view of these badass Fighting Nerds glasses, all right? Give me Gene Silva, W, knockout, first or second round. Honestly, if you want to be a degenerate savage, you're like, yo, I'm a degen savage, bro. What's the second round knockout prop? What's the second round knockout prop? KO round number 2. Plus 550 for second round knockout, and it's plus 310 for first. I don't know why second round speaks to me, but it definitely could be the first. First or second round, Gene Silva lays waste to Bryce Mitchell. Violent KO, badass win, and Gene Silva is fighting ranked opposition after this one, and I'm damn excited for it. I mean, he's fighting a ranked opposition here, but like bigger fights now. Next fight on the card, we got Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. I've been picking Patricio Pitbull all week, man. I got faith in Pitbull. I think he's being a tad bit overlooked by some, man, because like you can see 28% of the people on him. I don't think that makes sense. I feel like Pitbull's better than Yair. We have seen Yair Rodriguez wilt in fights. Pitbull is consistent with a calculated pace and pressure attack. He does offer legit grappling threat, but he also has very effective stand-up. Nice kicking skill set, to be honest with you. Not Yair Rodriguez style, but effective kicking skill set. Powerful hands, karate-esque style mixed with Western boxing. It's a very interesting striking flow. I think Pitbull is able to close the distance and evade Yair's nasty kicks up high. I think Pitbull can land big shots in close, but I do believe Pitbull can get this fight to the ground. And I think Pitbull on the mat is going to be a lot better than Yair Rodriguez. And I feel as though there is a true live threat of a win via submission for Patricio Pitbull in the matchup. Let's look at the scales, though. Pitbull, he went on championship weight. He's saying, listen, I'm ready for the title if somebody needs a fill-in. He said that. He said, I'm ready to go. Yair looks good as well. And, you know, I got to give respect where it's due. Let's check out the scales here, right? There's the face-off. We'll look at the scales first. Yair looks ripped. Pitbull looks fucking jacked. Size difference between the two. Obviously, Yair a good amount taller, but it's not like Pitbull hasn't fought taller people before. I think Pitbull's going to do a good job of closing that distance and landing big shots. And I'm telling you, man, big grappling advantage for him. Legendary Bellator fighter, finally makes the big debut in the UFC, and he takes on a guy in Yair that's coming off back-to-back losses. Brian Ortega outdogged him last time, and I think we're going to see Patricio Pitbull outdog him as well. And I'm going Pitbull, and I think live for a finish. Plus 160 for Pitbull, minus 185 for Yair. I think Pitbull demands some respect, dude. I really do. Over 2.5, minus 155. Pitbull to win inside of the distance. What is it? Plus 250. Submission threat for Pitbull. What is that? Where's the submission? Pitbull, submission. Where are you, brother? I can't find it. Plus 550 to plus 700. Ground and pound or just KO in general for Pitbull. Plus 600, plus 7. Yeah, bro. I like the underdog. I think Patricio Pitbull's really live here. And I think Pitbull can pull through inside of the distance, but he could even win a decision if it has to get to that point. I think he will land some big shots in close range on Yair, and I think he controls the grappling. We've seen Yair outworked on the mat by a 5'6" guy before. You remember Frankie Edgar beating the shit out of Yair Rodriguez on top position? Like, yeah, Pitbull doesn't have the same wrestling pressure style, but he has similar effectiveness with work from top position and control on the ground. And I think he's going to beat Yair Rodriguez. And I'm saying Patricio Pitbull to win his UFC debut. And I do think the hype's going to be booming on him, bro. This is a Bellator legend. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, well, Sergio Pettis beat him. He drained himself down to nothingness to make 135. Okay. And he still survived, but he looked terrible in that. He then took a fight a month later on short notice. I suspect there was some strange shit going on behind closed doors, which forced him into this fight against a dangerous striker in Suzuki. I think this was a terrible idea to go step in against Suzuki after draining his body the month before to make weight and then fighting Suzuki the month after. And yeah, he gets knocked out. It was a terrible circumstance. There was no training camp. It was extremely short notice. And he got caught, and shit happens. Sometimes you get caught, and it was weird. It's in Japan, and Japan is known for some corrupt shit behind the scenes, okay? I know it's Ryzen, not Pride, but trust me, it still exists. And then he comes back to the PFL Tour, technically Bellator, a year ago, and he fucks up Jeremy Kennedy, who's actually pretty good. And I think Patricio Pitbull is on his way to beating Yair Rodriguez as well. So give me Pitbull, gang, as a dog to get it done. Co-main event, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. You guys know who I'm going with. Paddy Pimblett. Oh, Paddy the baddie. I actually think Paddy's effective in striking. He's got a fast right hand. I think he can land shots on Michael Chandler. I think he's going to be quicker. As far as the grappling goes, Paddy Pimblett's going to be a lot better at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Michael Chandler's good at pure wrestling, but he's not great at grappling overall. Like submission threats and all is minimal. Whereas Paddy Pimblett does have a legitimate Jiu-Jitsu game and a threatening grappling base. His striking is not bad. I could see Chandler having moments on the feet, but I think Pitbull could fire, or excuse me, Pitbull. I think Pimblett could fire big counter shots back. I think if they hit the mat, you're going to see Pimblett's a good amount better. Chandler also towards the end of his run, 38, nearly 39 years old, taking on a Pimblett that looks like he's getting better and better each time. I think Paddy Pimblett finds a way to Michael Chandler's back, and actually, I think he strangles him. So I'm going to go Paddy Pimblett rear naked choke. I think he wins by submission in impressive fashion, and people are going to say, holy fuck, Michael Chandler just got subbed by Paddy, and Paddy's actually legit. Let's look at the scales. Where is our modern day Beetle? Look at this guy. He actually looks great. Paddy looks in great shape. Shredded up, ready to go to war. He's got the man strength coming in, bro. I'm telling you, he looks more manly these days. Michael Chandler's physique is fucking insane. I don't know how he's that shredded. It doesn't make any sense. Dude is just fucking insanely ripped. Savage build. There's a face off there, but we'll look at the scales. Obviously, ceremonials, they're filled in, but both guys look ripped as hell. Similar size between the two. I mean, Chandler looks stacked with insane amounts of muscle, which makes you question his natty status because he's so fucking jacked. But, you know, he's natural. He's natural. Paddy Pimblett's in good shape as well, though, man. And I think he's coming into his prime now. And I think this is going to be the best Paddy Pimblett we've ever seen in the UFC. And I don't know if I can say the same for Michael Chandler. I think Paddy's going to sub him up, dude. Pimblett minus 150, Chandler plus 130. Let's see. We got a lot of props to fuck around with in this one here, okay? So, Pimblett to win by submission, plus 240, I do believe is likely. What is Pimblett by a specific method? Okay. Am I fucking crazy? Do we have rear naked choke submission? Do we have wins by rear naked choke? We don't have it. We have knockout, doctor stoppage, elbow, kick, bum, 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 big bang bosh. Where the fuck? Where's this? No specific sub call? That's annoying. Well, if you have a specific sub call line, rear naked choke somehow speaks to me. 5 rounds, bro. Michael Chandler is not winning a 5-round fight here against Paddy. Paddy's going to have so much time to work. He'll find strikes. He'll land shots. Even if Chandler has a couple of big moments, don't panic. Paddy Pimblett will dig deep, and he will find the back of Michael Chandler, and he will ultimately take out the American. And I think Paddy by submission makes a lot of sense. Minus 150 is an extremely bettable money line, to be fair as well. And I think Paddy proves it in this matchup here against Michael Chandler. Chandler plus 130. You know what's crazy? And this is a delusional take for some, but Conor McGregor said he's got an eye on this fight. I've said it for like years. The only guy that can bring Conor back now, maybe a year. I said, Paddy Pimblett, Conor McGregor. Like, I could see it somehow. I have a vision of it. And Pimblett finally getting the signature win, calls out McGregor after. I don't know. There's a chance he draws him back. If not, a Justin Gaethje fight is on the horizon. Either way, Paddy Pimblett win is putting him in the conversation for a UFC title fight. And I think he's coming into his own. And I know people are like, oh, the Jared Gordon fight, though. 2.5 years, off night, followed it up with good wins. And I think he looks better every time. And I think he beats an aging Michael Chandler. I'm going to predict he wins by submission. Paddy Pimblett for the W. And hand getting raised. Styles make the fights. Paddy's way better at jiu-jitsu. And I think he's a lot quicker. And I think he handles Michael Chandler and submits him inside of the 5 rounds. Next fight. Main event. If you guys haven't, make sure you hit the likes. If you're new, subscribe. We got Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Listen, guys, I savage dog lock Diego Lopes because I'm feeling the motherfucking thunder this card, okay? Diego Lopes has very powerful and fast boxing. He's explosive with his punch combinations. Alexander Volkanovski is towards the tail end of his run, back-to-back knockout losses. Yes, they are against the best of the best, Topuria and Makhachev, top pound-for-pound fighters. Still, knockout losses. Been out for a year, which he needed to break after bad back-to-back KOs. But I think Diego Lopes could also crack that chin in a similar fashion to the other two. Diego Lopes is an extremely good grappler. I would say that Volkanovski would have the pure wrestling advantage, but I have a hard time envisioning Volkanovski controlling Diego Lopes and beating him up from top position like he did against, let's say, a Yair Rodriguez. I don't see Diego just accepting that type of position like that. Diego Lopes is extremely active from bottom position, and he throws up a lot of submission attempts. Go back and watch the Movzar fight. He's trying for a lot of subs, and he's getting close to locking Movzar in some deep-ass submissions. That's a short notice fight. Diego Lopes is a threat everywhere this fight goes. And the biggest doubt around this game that many pundits have is they say gas tank. Go watch the Ortega fight and watch round 3. He was not even breathing heavy when the fight finished. He is ready for 5 rounds, and I believe right now this is the best Diego Lopes we have ever seen. He looks physically insane. We'll bring up the scales in a second. And I think that he is so ready to go 5 with Volkanovski, and he truly believes it's his time. And I do too. I I think it is his time. I think Volkanovski is live to get subbed in this fight, live to get knocked out. I can see Volk's chin being gone and Diego cracking him with a big shot and putting him away. I see a violent finish for Diego Lopes as the official method of victory prediction. But if it were to be a 5-round back and forth, I believe Diego Lopes is ready to go 5 hard rounds and can outwork Alexander Volkanovski and win a 5-round decision. To me, it's not knockout or bust. I think that's a fallacy that's getting pushed down. Diego Lopes for the W, any means necessary. Decision, knockout, or submission. I can see reasonings for all three and possibilities of all three. But something speaks to me on the knockout, catching Volkanovski with a big combination, hurting Volk, throwing high kicks, making Volk then lean back, and then somehow pushing Volk towards the cage. Big combination there, catches him with the blitz. Volkanovski's reaction time slowed a bit, doesn't have the same defensive capabilities that he once did. He likes to lean back a lot. Lopes, taller guy, could catch him with a clobbering shot. Yeah, Diego Lopes is going to land, and he's going to put Volk out. Diego Lopes on the scale, looking shredded, jacked, and ready to go. This is the best shape Diego we've ever seen, and he's always jacked. Looks fucking insane. He looks insane. Does Volk not look old? Guys, that's old man Volk. Look in his eyes. You telling me that's not an aged Volk from last year? You don't see it? This isn't the Volk that went 5 rounds with Islam Makhachev. This isn't the Volk that beat Yair Rodriguez. Shit, I don't think this is even going to be the Volk that went 2 rounds and did well in round 1 against Ilia Topuria. This is a past his best days Volk that has taken some big damage. Been knocked out viciously in back-to-back fights. And I think he's getting knocked out viciously again, man. This is not the same Volk. It's gone. The magic is gone. Lopes is a lock, bro. Lopes is a fucking lock. Let's look at the scales. Lopes, look at this fucking insane physique. It's the best physique we've ever seen him with. He looks fucking crazy. Diego Lopes is ready for war. And if you're like, oh, well, what does the physique matter? Bro, it shows he's training his motherfucking ass off. He's always in good shape. Now he's in fucking phenomenal shape. Volk looks good for his age, but he looks like old man Volk. You don't have it anymore. I'm telling you, you don't have it anymore. Look at his eyes. Face off. It just screams Diego Lopes, violent finish. I think he's knocking Volkanovski out, dude. I think Volk's getting laid clean. Lopes, too explosive, too clean, too primed, too hungry, too ready for this, man. This is Diego Lopes time now. Savage dog lock. Odds for the fight, plus 135. That's a fucking steal, bro. Diego Lopes at plus 135 is a steal. Minus 155 Volkanovski, bro. Diego Lopes at plus 155 or plus 135 is a steal. At plus fucking 120, it's a steal. At plus money at all, it's a steal. Volkanovski should be a big underdog. Not big, but he should be the dog. The lines should be flipped here. To me, the lines are flipped. I think Diego Lopes destroys Volk. Inside distance, Diego Lopes makes the most sense to me. That sits at plus 175. Knockout for Diego Lopes, plus 300, very probable. Submission, a possibility at plus 600 as the odds continue to increase. Less likely, right? I think knockout more likely. But yeah, bro, I think it's violence. What's Lopes round 1 KO plus 650 range? Depends. I mean, it's a 5-round fight. He could take his time. Be patient on the start, catch Volk in the second or even the third, you know? Chasing the round props is not a great idea, but I do think Diego Lopes is going to finish Volkanovski as my official method of victory prediction. Do we have via KO punch? We have doctor stoppage. We have elbow, knee. Give us punch, bro. Why don't they give us punch? Why? Because it's most likely? So they give us all these weird ones. There's no punch here. I'm not seeing any punch. That's stupid. Doctor stoppage. Nah, it's going to be a punch. The punch that puts Volkanovski down and out. Minus 185 for the Lopes spread as well. Well, shit. So if he nabs a close fight and loses, it's still, but bro, he's going to win. Fuck it. I don't even understand how Lopes is the underdog. I really don't get it. I think Diego Lopes is a fucking certainty, man. I will be shocked if this version of Volkanovski can beat Diego. Like, I will literally be shocked, bro. I don't see it, guys. I see striking, him getting caught with big shots. If they go to the ground, threat of submissions. I don't think he's controlling Lopes and beating him up for 5 rounds. I think Lopes finds his massive moment and ends Alexander Volkanovski, knocks him out, and becomes the new featherweight champ. My pick, confidently, is the Savage Dog Lock, Diego Lopes, to get it done. Those are my predictions for UFC 314, but we're not done yet. Let's talk about some parlays. Okay, so I want to see what we have and if any shifts in confidence change. Woodson Hooper, I think it's live, minus 127. Not as exciting, though. Lopes and Pimblett plus 262 is pretty badass, if you ask me. Savage dog lock, an up-and-coming Pimblett call. Seems like Savage City money. I like that probably the best, probably. Pitbull and Silva, some badass Brazilian money at plus 280. Let's see. I mean, all Savage dogs winning at the Savage D-Gen with Reyes. Reyes worrying me. He could still win. I'll still leave it locked in at plus 3480. He's got a chance. Reyes didn't look good. Something worrying me. His mental is off. That's why I'm feeling the Krylov side post weigh-in. But tape told me Reyes initially, but then something inside telling me something different. So take it with as you want. Maybe just remove Reyes there and you just run the other four, which is not a bad idea. But I do want to make one happen live for you guys. Like, you know, these are from Wednesday, and I have a certain feeling about, you know, some of the calls that I think make money sense to me. So I think Diego Lopes, Paddy Pimblett, and a Gene Silva knockout has kind of spoken to me here. I will say this is, you know, a new call that you could consider. I mean, plus 744. I think there's a real chance Silva is dusting Bryce Mitchell. I think there's a real chance Paddy Pimblett is subbing Michael Chandler. And I think Diego Lopes for a finish too. Now, if you're like, yo, what if I just don't want to play Gene Silva by KO? You don't have to, and you're still going to get a relatively decent line. Just those three plus 483, right? Lopes, Pimblett, and Silva. Do we still have this one up? I put it in here, correct? Yeah. Lopes, Pimblett, and Silva at plus 410 was my big dog play all along. But if you want to add a little oomph to it, you could throw the KO side down. You could. I mean, mixing in method of victories is sweaty shit, okay? But let's say you go Gene Silva by KO and you're sticking with just these three fights. I don't need to go farther than that. And then you're like, okay, I think Diego Lopes wins by a finish. You can just go inside distance on Diego Lopes. Fuck anything else, bro. You go inside distance, Diego Lopes. This ain't, it's 2-1 on DraftKings. Lopes inside distance, Silva by KO, and Pimblett. You're at plus 1,025. And I legitimately like the chance of this hitting. I legitimately like this parlay. I'm not just reaching for plus money. It can be pretty savage. Now, if you want to take it fucking another step, and you're like, yo, bro, fuck it. I think Pimblett finishes. If you want to have that conversation, okay, just these two together is great too. You think Pimblett, you think submission, you're like, yo, just give me Pimblett sub. I'm going for it. Plus 2,243. Lopes KO, excuse me, Lopes inside distance, Silva KO, and Pimblett by submission, plus 255. But another way I like concocting it, which is maybe, you know, less menacing, at least in my mind, because I do think Lopes has a real possibility of getting that fucking flatline KO. Lopes via just knockout here, plus 1662 with Paddy to win straight and Silva by KO. That's probable. And then I'll take it one step further. You guys know I got to go savage mode. I can't just fucking play it basic. If you are like, yo, I got Pimblett by sub, I'm riding with it. Plus 3,571. Now it's just gone D-Gen Savage risk, and we got to be on point with every method of victory call. But the one with inside distance Lopes, Silva KO, and Pimblett straight down the center, bro, that speaks to me well. So definitely some good parlays to be had this week. You can see, I mean, Cornolle over 2.5 feels good. I think the confidence is still there. And a lot of the most confident calls are pretty money. The Woe one is live for sure at plus 1,072. I think that's got a damn good chance of hitting. I'm liking a lot of the plays, man. Maybe if you don't like certain guys, you take them out. Like, hey, I don't like Hooper. All right, take him out because the odds are too wide for him anyways. You can still cash heavy. So be smart with your bets. Don't blindly tail. I highly recommend anybody actually throwing cash down at this shit is doing their own research. But if you're going to blindly tail, I'm dialed the fuck in. Okay? I'm dialed in. I hope you guys enjoyed the UFC 314 weigh-in recap show. This is a lot of fun. I feel like we went wild mode today. Smash the like button if you haven't. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Subscribe. You're not going to be disappointed with the daily content flow. Keep it locked in the channel also by hitting the post notifications so you don't miss a thing. I love each and every one of you. Definitely let me know in the comments. What are your confident picks? I want to hear from the people. Anything change after the weigh-ins? Are you guys feeling Krylov maybe more of a Reyes, or maybe it's a different matchup? You're like, yo, after the weigh-in, I feel this way. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you have nothing to say in the comments, but just enjoy the content as always, W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. Make sure you tune into the Fight Companion, bringing the thunder Saturday for the full card. And main event, Savage Dog Lock on the line. Damn excited. Thanks for watching, everybody. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.